Shalom Yeladim, it's Valerie and my friend Tracy, your art specialist here this morning. And spring has sprung and Passover is around the corner. And so we have come up with a really fun kind of therapeutic art project for you to do with your whole family using some of the beautiful things in nature that have sprung up around us.
We've already picked a few things, but we thought maybe we would just take a little walk around the garden and show you what you can do to get ready for this project.
Everything we're using came from right around here. We did not need to leave our yard. Or you could go on a walk around your neighborhood and see what other treasures you might be able to find. We're back in the studio now, and we wanted to introduce you to the project that we are going to make using all of these beautiful flowers and leaves and little things that we collected in the garden earlier.
Thank you.
So first you want to gather up the supplies you're going to need, and we are keeping it very simple because we know that you're at home and might not have all the materials to do all kinds of complicated art projects, but this is really all the things that you would have around your house, hopefully. So we've got the nature that we gathered. We have some packing tape and washi tape, some scissors and a spoon, and you'll see why we're going to use that later, and then some rocks. I've never seen art materials like this before, have you? So if you have smaller hands, you get a smaller rock. If you have bigger hands, you can use a bigger rock, but you want to have a little bit of weight.
We want a rock that's smooth.
It could be smooth, yeah. You don't want it too bumpy or too rough. And what we're going to do is called flower pounding. So I just learned how to do this myself, and it's a really fun kind of therapeutic way to make something very beautiful for your Passover table. Flower pounding can get a little loud, so this is not a project that you want to do when the baby's sleeping, or when mom and dad are on the phone, or somebody has a headache. And actually doing it outside is the best, but we're doing it in here because it's quieter for us to film. So if you want to muffle some of the noise, you can have a stack of magazines. You can use a cutting board, small or large, and you can also use a towel, which kind of will help take up some of the noise, a kitchen towel. So you can make it so that it's in a comfortable place for you, and you'll see how loud it gets and how fun it can be. And then we're going to start with just very basic paper towel that hopefully you all have in your house. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your paper towel and fold it. And you'll see later on that you can also do the same technique on paper and even on fabric. Tracy will show you a little bit later a different way to do it on fabric. And so you're going to open up your paper towel and you're going to pick a leaf that you found. And some leaves are waxier than others, kind of a hedge leaf, and some are thicker. And we want the thinner ones that are going to be able to release some of their color onto our beautiful design. So this is a leaf from the lemon tree outside, and it smells really good because all of the orange blossoms also are in bloom. And then tiny little flowers. This one here I know because we did this earlier is going to release some of its color. And then you're going to fold over your paper towel, and here comes the fun part, is you're going to take your rock and you're going to do some pounding, and that's why this is called flower pounding. I'm going to pound the leaf first. I'm going to make sure that my hands are safe and out of the way, and I'm going to pound, 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 pound. And if you can see, the color is starting to come through, and the shape of the leaf is starting to emerge. I think I'm going to try the flower now. The pound. And it's really kind of fun. I think you're going to enjoy this. Pretty! Looks good already. Okay, and then you can open up your paper towel and you can pull off what's left of your mashed up leaf or your mashed up flower. And you can start to see some designs coming out. There's the flower and there's the leaf. This leaf didn't give us a lot of green, so I'm going to show you. I tried these yesterday. These are just weeds, but they look like little clovers, and they're growing all over the ground outside right now after the rain. And these, I know for sure, put a lot of green. And I think maybe I'm going to try this little flower here too. Put that upside down. And I'm going to fold it over again. And I have to kind of remember where I laid things because I can't see through the paper towel. But here comes this green here. And then then this bigger rock, this rock I like because it's shaped like a heart and it's very smooth. But this rock is also really good because it's heavy. You can get a lot of smashing in all at once. So now,
flower right here.
I have another flower. Tracy, thank you.
You're welcome.
See, I forgot.
Personal assistant.
It's okay to take a peek and say, oh yeah, there's a flower in there. And you can pound that. And now you know why they call this, I shouldn't talk while I'm pounding. Now you know why they call this flower pounding. Okay, and you can open it up again and start to see. You can get rid of this because you don't need this anymore. It gave us what it needed, or what we needed, which is the color. So we're taking the flower.
Purple one, that's nice.
Yeah. And you get the mirror image a little bit on the other side. And you can continue to do this. Looks like all a heart over. Yeah, look at that. And this one I like because it's got the little yellow in the middle. And so you can continue. We did this one yesterday when we were just experimenting. These bougainvillea made some really bright, pretty colors. And this orange color too. I don't know what this one is called, but I know that the hummingbirds and the butterflies love this one. So you can see what you come up with. And with the paper towels, it just goes all the way through. Now we can show you later on what you can do with this to make this a special item for your Seder, for your Passover table. Okay.
Want to show them some of the other things that
Sure.
we were playing around with? And then we'll go on
One of the things that we discovered is some really thick paper, ideally watercolor paper if you have it, but even if you have some regular white construction paper, maybe some index cards, you can make little place cards for your Passover table. And what we discovered is that the flowers that you find to pound, you want them to not be too juicy. And we found some really beautiful flowers, and when we pounded them, it just turned into mush. It turned all brown. But some flowers like this, you can even use as a brush. And so you don't even need to pound them. You can put them on the paper and drag it around and kind of draw with the flower itself. See how the color's coming off? Not pounding, but just dragging and pressing on to make just a loose design. And then we fold it in half to make a little place card. And you can do it same with some of the leaves, especially like these little clover leaves or some of the leaves that really let out some of their color. You can drag it along and get the designs. This orange too really works nicely. So that's another way that you can take the flowers to use to make some decorations. I had this bag. I bought a phone not too long ago from the Apple store, and I found this white bag, and I did the same technique on the white bag. I tried some pounding, but the texture was a little heavy. So then I just started taking the flowers that I found. This one I pounded, and I can show you. I can pound another one maybe, if you don't mind the noise. Okay. We can see if this color will count. Oh yeah, this is counting it nicely. And I pounded that leaf on and got a little impression there and wrote the word afikomen. And you can use this bag. You can put your piece of matzah here and hide it during your Seder. So you don't have to have a lot of fancy supplies. You can look around and see what you have at home. Paper towels, bags, a scrap of fabric that maybe is an old pillowcase or a napkin or some kind of cloth. And there's a different technique to do it on the fabric, and Tracy's going to go ahead and show you that.
I'm going to show you how to make a matzah cover. If you have a piece of fabric, a napkin, a handkerchief, if your parents are willing to let you cut off maybe one of their pillowcases, I'm going to show you a way to take that same exact technique that Valerie was showing you with the flower pounding and put it onto a larger piece of fabric. So this was a piece of fabric that I worked on. This is a napkin, and I did some flower pounding on here. You can see some of the beautiful results. Let me show you what I did when I made a matzah cover. Same napkin, but I went another step further and I wrote the word matzah. You have to write the word matzah when your fabric is down, flat on a hard surface. And I used a Sharpie for this. So just so you know, this fabric gets a little loose. If it's too hard for you to write, you can always tape it down on the table and then write the word matzah. You can write the word matzah before you start pounding, or you can write the word matzah after you start pounding. Okay, let's get to work. I'm taking a blank piece of napkin, fabric, etc., whatever I'm using, and I'm going to start setting up my flowers. Same concept, but we're going to go a little bit different on this. We're going to lay our flowers down on the back of the fabric. The reason I know that is because the tag is back here. And then we're going to actually put down a piece of, this is packing tape, clear scotch packing tape. But if you don't have it, like this, you can also use washi. And I guess we can also use like a masking tape, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to lay these out. I'm going to do a couple of them at the same time so I can kind of show you guys how this works. And I always say, what's your composition? If you want to lay it out to look a certain way, you don't have to do things separate. You can mix colors together. I'm going to lay this out. And I might need a separate piece of, another piece of tape for that, Val, because I'm going to maybe I'll do one more, and then I'm going to show you guys how I do this. I'm going to leave a little room in the middle for matzah, so where I can write later, so I'm going to do that. You can do this with flowers, leaves that we talked about. All right, I think I need, can I grab this little one here? Okay, we're ready. All right, well, we now know how to pound. Same thing is going to happen here. I'm going to pound on top of the tape. The goal is I'm going to transfer the color through to the other side.
Are you going to do your cutting board? Or?
Yeah, Val's suggesting that. I think that's a good idea. We're just going to cover the cutting board so I don't stain the cutting board with color. Okay. Again, watch where your hands are. Make sure you don't hit your hands. And we're going to do our pounding. We can peek. Ooh, love it. Going on. Okay, everyone, I'm done hammering, but what I want you to know is you can continue on and do as much floral and hammering as you want, but I'm going to get to the end of this. So I'm going to take these off. I might save these because there's a little thing that we can do. What? Continue on. I'm going to remove these. One more. And then literally you're going to turn it over. And you've got a beautiful piece of fabric. And I'm just going to show you how to put the word matzah on it, which will come in the middle. I'm just going to write out the word very gently, making sure I'm on a hard surface. You can write it any way you want. Cursive, all caps, upper and lower, big, small, fancy. And you're done. Okay, I wanted just to show you really quick with Val. She wanted to show you another really quick thing that you can do with these pieces of
Yesterday we discovered that these are still really pretty. They've given us some of their color, but some of it is still on the tape and the flower shapes. So what we thought is another maybe spring Passover decoration for your house. We'll put another piece of tape so it's sticky. Put another piece of tape so both sides are not sticky. And then made a little garland. Let's see if we can untangle it.
There you go.
And took a lot of the leaves and flowers that I had made and that Tracy had made, that we had pounded, and made a little garland. They're not sticky now because there's tape on both sides, and you can hang it in your window. And so you have double art.
Beautiful. Hag Sameach, everyone.
Hag Sameach.
Thanks for joining us. Have fun.